From the studios of TLC Talk Radio, it's TashaTalkz. I'm your girl, Tasha. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Catch our podcast on TLCTalkRadio.com 24/7 edutainment. And as loyal listeners to TashaTalkz understand, this show is all about relationships, but relationships of all kinds. So in my personal relationship with myself, it is my desire to see as much of God's world as possible, right? However, my relationship with my parents dictates that that's going to wait because I want to live where I want to live, wherever that is. I'm cool with moving around, but they're not going. And so because I'm their personal concierge and caretaker, I just had to wait that out. And I'm okay with that. In the interim, I'll just travel. So to that end, I have a friend. We've been friends for 30 years. And I don't know how that's possible because we're 22. But
that's right. I don't know the math behind that.
Right.
That's the math.
Yeah, that wasn't my strong suit, math. So I have a friend who came to me and said, you know, I'm moving. And I'm like, where? And he's like, Malaysia. And I'm like, Manhattan? Malaysia. Milwaukee? No, Malaysia. And I had to get used to it because obviously it's so far away. Please welcome to the show, my friend, Twan Smith. Hey.
Hey, thank you, Tasha. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure. Looking forward to it.
The pleasure's mine. So when you said that to me, I was completely shocked. Like, I think we were texting like at the end of our workday. And I was like, wait, what? So let's just start from the beginning. What led to your move?
Well, in the spirit of relationships,
right?
It was a Tuskegee University relationship, an HBCU relationship that sparked this move. Yeah. So I got a call from one of my colleagues from Tuskegee, also my frat brother, but he called me and he's just out of the blue said, hey man, what are you doing? I said, well, you know, because I was teaching high school.
Right.
I said, well, I'm looking to do something different, looking to get back into get out of high school and get back into the tech part because my background is engineering in college. He says, hey, do you have still have your Six Sigma certification? Yeah. Do you still have your project management certification? Yeah. What about Scrum? I think I'm going to pick that up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. He said, cool, get it. He said, why don't you come over here to Southeast Asia and work with me, working in the bank. And so we're working in the fintech, which is financial tech.
Okay.
I said, no problem. I said, I'm looking to get something different, do something different. And so he made the recommendation and got me an interview and I took it on.
Wow. Yeah. So, and it's good to have those relationships. We talk about that, you're obviously a kind person. I'm biased because we're friends, right? But just the way you carry yourself, the way you move, he wouldn't have called you, A, if he didn't know you were talented, and B, he didn't know that you weren't crazy. So that worked out. Like, you've been a hard worker, you've been kind, obviously, and you had that relationship forged so that when the opportunity showed up, he immediately thought of you.
Yeah. And I'm one of those guys who, like to write stuff down, have dream boards and call things into the universe. And I actually remember saying I wanted a certain salary and I wanted to get back into tech. And I wanted to live somewhere where it was warm temperature. And I have this hoodie on because, the show is Englewood, and it's Lindblom colors. I had that. That's the reason why I had this on. But the temperature here is about 82 every day on the average. I was like, you know what? No more shoveling snow. It's time to go.
Right. So when did you make the move?
I made the move in August of 2019, officially. August 2019.
Okay. And then what were the steps like? Did you have to go and were the interviews virtual? Did you have to go? What did that look like?
We had a phone interview.
Okay.
Several of them, like 2 or 3 of them. And then they made an offer. I don't know, I'm not sure they made the offer, but I think they did make the offer. Then they had a visit for me. I had a 2-week visit. So they flew me here. so I can have a look, what they call look-see.
Yeah.
That means you can look around and see what you like and where you possibly may want to live, what have you. And I did that. And man, I didn't get it all done in 2 weeks, but I like the culture. I like the energy. So I was like, you know what? I'm taking that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm gonna back up a bit because you alluded to it. You talked about your Englewood shirt. Now the listeners know that I'm from Englewood. Well, so is Twine. We live in the same street, though many blocks apart. Not that many. It was walkable. But you grew up in the greatest neighborhood ever. I'm biased again.
No doubt.
What did the impact of being someone from Chicago's Englewood neighborhood have on who you are today?
Well, it's like this. When you're horn ready, you're born ready.
Indeed.
No doubt. When you are horn ready, you're born ready. It's just that the fact I was able to, keep my head on a swivel, pay attention to details. When you walk out the house in your house out of Englewood, you pay attention to any and everything that's moving. And some things that's not moving. You're like, hey, why isn't that moving? And that innate ability allowed me to kind of keep my head on the swivel in the technical world. I saw what was missing, what I could do, what fit my skill sets. And then also, by me being a brother in the community and me having a relationship with college students as well as high school students, I said, why don't I take this chance and then show them what could be done once you put your mind to it, and also, using your talent and skills, because my background, like I said, was as engineering, which has a strong math foundation. And so I was able to share that with the children and say, hey, look, my next move is my best move. I'm going over here. My next move, my chess move. I'm making this move. And they said, really? Yep. Yeah.
How did they respond
now they know
to
it's
that?
real.
What were their thoughts?
They're like, are you for real? Seriously? Where is that? They were like blown away. But I was letting them know that this is not, I'm not one of those teachers who's going to talk just theory. I can show you better than I can tell you. And it wasn't so much as walking away from them, but it was walking in a way to show them, hey, you guys can do it too.
That's dope. When we talked offline, you mentioned that one of the things you noticed as you came over was that you're approached as an American first. Clearly, you're a Black man, right? But when people approach you, they approach you from the perspective of you're an American. Tell us about that.
Well, first and foremost, they're going to have a conversation. Hello, how are you? And so they prompt conversation. And one of the main questions, now it's just kind of a nugget, one of the main questions they ask you, depending upon the time of the day, have you had your breakfast? Have you had your lunch? Have you had your dinner? They're going to ask you that first.
Okay.
And that's a segue into them saying, how you doing today?
Okay.
So if you had your breakfast, like, okay, you had your breakfast. Okay, well, good. Well, what did you have? No, stuff like that. But that's something I've gotten adjusted to. So when I respond, they say, where are you from? They say, are you, because your accent, they notice the accent. Okay. They're going to ask me where I'm from after that.
Got it.
So that's what it is. So, oh, you're from, where you from? I say, U.S. And they say, where about? California? No. New York? No. DC? Hell no.
Oh. Hell no to DC?
Hell no to DC? No, I mean, DC's cool. I got much love for Go-Go and all the Go-Go bands, Chuck Brown, rest in peace. But at the end of the day, I was really like, no, I'm from Chicago. Oh, Chicago, Michael Jordan, Barack Obama.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's dope. So what do those relationships look like? So you get past the small talk, right? And, they realize where you're from. You have that conversation. What has it looked like building relationships? So you've been there since August. Have you developed what you would consider a close friend?
My coworkers, they're cool.
Okay.
I got a cadre of coworkers, and they are of the African diaspora. We have a WhatsApp group, and the group of people are they're from Ghana. Okay. They're from Zimbabwe, they're from Botswana, they're from Gambia, and they're also from UK by way of Jamaica.
Nice.
And then I got my colleague from the US who's from Memphis 10. So yeah, I got a colleague there. And then also some of my other coworkers just from the US, they happen to be my frat brothers. They live in Singapore, which is like from here, it's like a trip from Chicago, Detroit, 4 hours.
Oh.
Drive. When you fly, it's 45 minutes. It's another country, but it's only 45 minutes away.
Nice.
Well, been able to develop those relationships. Yeah.
Yeah. What about like your day-to-day interaction? So you had to get used to, obviously, you talked about the way that they begin, conversations with you. What about daily interaction, shopping or going places, or I don't know, is
it's what I really don't, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
To answer that question, because it clicked. When I go certain places, if I go there enough, they remember what I order and what I want. And I don't go there a heck of a lot. They're like, oh, so you want this, you want that, you want your brown rice, you want your ginger ale, tea? Like, no, not today, not the tea today, or something like that. Or the people in the grocery store, like, I stand out. Everyone here is like almost to my rib cage. I'm 6'4".
You're pretty tall.
Yeah, and this is Asia. Every car, I feel like I'm Shaq getting out of a Yugo. So, but the people they're generally nice, and they'll say, "How you doing today?" And they just remember they pay attention to the details. The customer service is amazing. It's just like I think the culture here is one to make sure that people are just taken care of. I've dropped my phone in the car. And I came upstairs, pat my pockets, like, no phone. Where's my phone? I got it back, same phone, no scratches, no nothing wrong with it at all. And it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, they would track it down. Wow. I've dropped money on the street out of my pocket. And one lady almost ran me down to let me know, here's your money you dropped. Oh, okay. It's very different. Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah, that's a marked change.
Did I answer your question?
It did. Because I'm trying to gauge, what the culture's like and what your acclimation has been like. So you're surprised sometimes, it sounds like, by the customer service or just the general culture of the people. And so that translates obviously into just learning more about the place you now call home.
Yeah, I mean, this is like just my city, or my quote unquote my state, which is Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
Now I went to Langkawi, which is another state, and I stayed just for my birthday last year. I stayed at this resort.
I saw the pictures.
It was so nice. The people were so nice. Oh, don't be jealous. I wake up in the morning and I hear Marvin Gaye, and I'm hearing the top 4 Tops. I'm like, what? And it's like, what in the heck is this? And I'm hearing other house music tracks. I'm like, I am in the middle of the island, and they bumping house music. And the people are really nice. Hey, Mr. Twan, hey, happy birthday. Brought me something for my birthday up to my room. They didn't have to do that. Slice of cake with a glass of champagne. It was really nice. And the room was wonderful. The hospitality, the breakfast. And I don't like cats. I'm allergic to cats. There was a cat that came over. And a cat. I was like, why is this cat over here? And she was hungry, obviously. So I was like, okay, I'm a feeder. No. And I know she probably likes stuff I don't like. I'm a vegan. So I get the cat some fish. And when this lady was coming over to serve me, that cat's like, at that lady, I was like, oh, that means she don't want you over here bother me at all. That's my only friend that I made those regular.
How long did she stay?
Almost a whole time I was out there. I was out there like a good 2 hours.
Okay, you didn't tell me how you navigated feeding her, making sure she didn't come super close to you because you're allergic.
Right. I can put the food down. I don't touch the cat.
I mean, I know, but she didn't try to get closer?
No. She was just kind of sitting under the table by my feet. She was just chilling.
Yeah. Animals know.
Yeah, we on the beach now. This is like on the beach.
Yeah.
Mind you, the hotels are on the beach. I'm like, okay. All right. Okay, kitty.
That's really interesting. I feel like babies and animals are very clear on what kind of people they run across.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm like, this cat don't know. I'm not a cat person, but they're gonna make me a cat person today
Oh, super
for my
sweet.
birthday.
So you so you moved before this pandemic, and then here comes the pandemic. How uh was it handled where you are in comparison to what coverage you may have seen here in the US?
Oh, oh wow. I watched the US go through some stuff that you guys were doing some stuff, especially in Chicago. And I was looking like, what are you guys doing? Why aren't you guys like kind of handling this differently? What they did here, they put up roadblocks. Certain places you couldn't go like within 10-kilometer distance. You had to have a pass or not a pass, a pass, a written pass, PDF, whatever. I showed on my phone. And so I can go back and forth to the office if I need to go to work. We shut down March 13th.
Okay.
I've been working from home since March 13th, a year and a week. So 53 weeks I've been working from home. They did that really fast. And then, of course, this is Asia, Southeast Asia. So masks here that's nothing new. Most of the culture wear masks anyway because of just other stuff in the air. So they wear the mask anyway, even though it's pretty clean here for the most part. But that's not a big difference. It is for me. I'm not Zorro or anybody. I don't wear no damn mask.
Did you say Zorro?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so, just that piece. They and then they stopped putting like hand sanitizer everywhere. I'm talking about this is March a year ago. It's everywhere. Every hand sanitizer, and also they have temperature check place things. You can always check your temperature when you go in a place. And they have these scans, your QR code, scan use your phone to scan, let you know it's tracking.
Sure.
So in case you have a cluster of outbreak, they can track who's in that vicinity or in the area.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. What has been the biggest adjustment to moving? You went from, moving around the US because you were in different places here. I remember.
Yeah.
You just like, okay, I'm done with this continent for now. Let me take this position. What has been the biggest adjustment for you?
I think the biggest adjustment for me has been not being able just to go around the corner, see your friends, go to the different park events, summertime shies, like always the best on the planet. But I think that's some of the stuff that is like an adjustment from leaving home. But arriving here, it's just been, I haven't driven. Now with the car's being on the right-hand side, the steering wheel being on the right-hand side, I don't drive. So I ride.
Is it because you know that you're not feeling this opposite change, or is it just the culture of I don't need to drive?
Two things. Three things, actually. Three.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. The first one is when I'll try to cross the street. And normally when I cross the street in Chicago, you walk out of the street, you generally look to your left. You might get hit. I almost got my ass hit. I need to look to the right because the traffic's on the opposite side of the street. I'm like, oh, wait a second. I'm walking out the street, looking to my left, and the car is coming from my right.
Right.
Like, whoa, wait a second. This is different. Then the traffic. It's not bad, but the guys on the bikes, they're everywhere. They're in between the cars, on the sides. So when you drive, you gotta look at your mirrors, make sure these guys these young ladies are not just coming out of clear blue. I was like, that's too much. I mean, they're all on the side. If there's a little space, like in the highway, you got your right lane, left lane, maybe middle lane, left lane, right lane. They are driving on those lines, the dotted lines, in between.
On the highway?
Oh, in the rain.
Yeah, I wouldn't drive either. I'm with you.
No, I'm like, I might kill somebody. I'm not doing that.
That's not what we want.
I don't want to do that one. That's two. And then I think the third one, from a traffic standpoint, was just the fact that I had to get used to look to the traffic being opposite. It just was totally different, for me. I'm like, wait a second. Now my mind has shifted. Now when I'm riding, I'm thinking, somebody gonna get it. What are you doing going in the intersection right now? You're gonna get us killed. That's when I first got here. Now I'm like, oh man, you better come on, get out here so we can make this light. But when I first started, I was like, nope, they're gonna kill somebody. I'm not doing that. My mind couldn't make the adjustment.
It is difficult. There's an episode of Brain Games I love where they rig a bike so that when you go left, you turn the handlebars left, it goes right. And the youngsters do better with those kinds of things. I think they rigged the car that way too. The young minds, not that we're old, because we're not, do better because they've never driven, or when as it relates to the cars, or B, with the bike, their minds are just faster. They can make the adjustment faster than the adults. And yeah, I didn't drive either.
And when you say that, I think about the quote unquote competition they normally have in the U.S. and some of the Asian students. Now, mind you, you say Asian, I'm not talking about people that just look quote unquote Chinese, but India is in Asia too.
Right.
So let people know when I say Asian, I'm not just talking about Chinese or Japanese or Korean. I'm saying Indians, like East Indian. Mm-hmm. So that culture, the fact that people think that they're better or more competitive in math and science than us, I get it. Because what I've been paying attention to here, I eat, I'm left-handed, so I eat generally with just my left hand, one fork, one spoon. When they eat, most of the people here use both hands. Use a spoon and a fork, or a chopstick and a fork, or a spoon or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, so you get to use both sides of your brain. And I actually started doing it too.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I use a fork and a spoon in a heartbeat. That's just something small, but I think that makes a huge difference when you start thinking about critical thinking and the way people think in academia, especially science and math. And most of your doctors in the U.S., a lot of them are Asian. Mm-hmm. So you think about the ambidextrous thinking, and I'm not saying that there are any Caucasian doctors or black. I'm not saying that, but you have your East Indian doctors, and you have your Asia, the Asia proper, what people consider Chinese doctors, or what have you, right? Mm-hmm. And you think about them having that mindset of ambidextrous and using both hands, you use both sides of your brain. So I think that has something to do with how they perform academically.
Yeah, that's very interesting. As we wrap, what can people take from your experience? You've been there just under 2 years. You moved from a place that you knew to a place that you didn't know. I don't know if there was apprehension or if you just said, let's go. What did it feel like?
It's two things. I'm saying, make them real quick. One, I had already started packing up my house before I even had a job interview.
Okay.
I was getting rid of everything. I felt in my soul a change was coming. I started packing up my house, started giving away stuff, started donating stuff. And I was like, something's going to happen. And it popped. About 2 months later, it popped. So I said all that to say, man, follow your gut, follow your faith. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying, hey, go open your book. No, follow your internal vibration, things that are coming to you. Follow that. And I switched careers. I went from high school and college math to cybersecurity and banking. Yeah. So be open and pay attention to the things that are happening before you, because those changes are here. Like right now, one of the biggest things we talk about now, me and some of my colleagues, is cryptocurrency. Some people say, well, I'm not up on it. I'm like, it's there. Get up on it. Imagine the fact that you and I own these cell phones. I'm on a cell phone. I got my laptop. You got your laptop. You got a microphone. All this technology 30 years ago. Right. No. This is just 30 years ago. Yeah, this is just 30 years ago. Me with a cell phone, you with a cell phone? No, not gonna happen. Who's paying for that? Right. So now you're talking about a personal computer? No, who's paying for that? So the change is always going to come.
Sure.
You have to be able to be, how can I say this? Flexible, adjustable.
Yeah.
And you have to be, sometimes you got to blaze new paths.
I like it. Any plans to return to the U.S. to live, or do you think you'll always live somewhere else?
Well, it's challenging. It's challenging to say. It's different when you in the U.S. and you're in it. You're like, oh yeah, this is how it is. It's snowing outside. Yeah, I heard somebody get carjacked. Well, I heard they were shooting over here. But I mean, we get numb to it.
Sure.
Here, people don't even have the citizen cannot carry guns. Okay. So when I think to that mindset, like how I think I've kind of almost got to the point where I got real somewhat soft and numb to the potential dangers and stuff. So I'm almost scared to come home. I'm like, I don't know. I might not be ready to come home because I'm not used to the loud noise, the cars. People drive, but there's no loud music.
Mm.
There's no one on the corner, no cell phone blasting music, the buses, the train, none of that. Everyone is just in their own zone, mind their own business. And I'm just not used to that. I'm used to this peace, but I'm not used to that being at home. And I have to be a major adjustment when I get off the plane in the US, be it Atlanta, be it, O'Hare Airport, Dallas, what have you. It's just something I get used to. The peace is unparalleled. But I'm thinking about it. Not sure if I'm coming home, but when I'm coming home to stay. But it's gonna have to be somewhere warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you get close to the 50s, nah. These bones are real.
Yeah. If you could call my parents and talk to them about the possibility of moving, because they are not hearing. They're like, what?
Oh man, they done. They're not budging. Once you get to like 65, no movement at all. Well, 70, definitely not moving.
Yeah, well, in my mind, they're 10, but, they don't believe that. I appreciate you coming on to this show. My friend, Twine Smith from Englewood to Kuala Lumpur. Thank you, Kuala Lumpur. I appreciate you being on the show. We'll definitely invite you back. From the studios of TLC Talk Radio, it's TashaTalkz. I'm your girl, Tasha. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. And catch us every day on TLCTalkRadio.com. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, Tasha. Appreciate it.